I've always speculated on something of this caliber happening, but I didn't know when it would be possible or when it would take place. But this is a thing now. Avengers and My Hero. It sounds like a match made in heaven deal going on since Koei has an extreme love for Western comics and all that. But for this to actually be happening is insane on itself, because I've thought about how many times that, oh man, it would be cool to see My Hero actually address some of the things that it's being based off of, its inspirations, and all of these things possible. But it just never seemed like something to happen. But right now we're at the best time possible for it. We have Avengers and Infinity War, then we have My Hero Academia at season 3. There's so much going on. We're going on into the manga too. We have the arc where we're at. It's eventful. It's about to be extremely eventful. So much about to happen. We just got off of so much that did happen, but there is just so much going on for My Hero at the moment, and this is probably the best time possible. Also, I don't think it's that crazy to not be bringing up that much stuff with the Avengers. I'm sure that everyone knows about the Avengers, Infinity War happening. I'm pretty sure everyone's pre-ordered their ticket. If not, it's totally fine. You can probably just wait about maybe 3 or 4 days after it comes out. You'll be able to get in there fine. Personally, I still haven't pre-ordered mine because not as a rush, because so much work to do, so much work. But man, this is so great to see this happening. Now, I think what got me the most off of this is that this isn't just some artwork being done. You legitimately have these videos and the voice actors going off each character, doing character introductions, comparisons, and all that. And I was just purely astounded, because you have certain things like, okay, talking on the character comparison thing in specific, you have Deku on Captain America, which I thought was crazy, but I guess that works there. You have Bakugo and Iron Man. That works there too. You have Uraraka and Black Widow, which is, well, obviously we're gonna have to have Avengers characters. You're gonna have Tenya and Doctor Strange, Todoroki and Thor. I guess you have All Might and Hulk. All of this together, it's sort of odd with certain characters that you have, but they're just like, okay, well, of course you're gonna have to do some character introductions and all that, because some of these characters will have certain things about them that will be held in comparison, like some likely things being noticed and all that. But I feel that there are actually a lot of other Marvel characters where all these other characters being mentioned, all these My Hero characters being mentioned, the main ones, all those characters have someone that they directly refer back to. So, for example, Bakugo, there is this villain that not many people know about that does have the same exact ability that Bakugo has, and he's in Marvel. And at the same time, he also has blonde hair and all that stuff. He sweats nitroglycerin, and that goes on to explosions and all that. But he nowhere uses it in the same way that Bakugo does. The thing how I believe that how Koei approached it, I believe that in each character, you have his own like personal self, a little bit of himself in there, because obviously every manga artist has a little bit of themselves inside of each character. So you have that, obviously, but then you have a mishmash of so many things they've taken from other places and all this stuff, and they put that into this character, which is extremely unique in itself, but they draw from many things. I don't think that there's ever been a character I can just purely say that's just like there's nothing about this character that relates to any other sort of character. This is like a completely new character, because there's so many things that everybody draws from. Everybody gets their stuff. There's no way for you to just start off your knowledge of life and just have nothing else. You have to build on something. So obviously that's the case. Now, do I believe that each one of these characters mentions extremely they draw to each character that they're introducing? Probably not. Just more on, they might hold a couple of similarities, but I don't think that these are the characters that they directly connect to. I believe that there's other characters that they would directly connect to, because Koei is he likes Western comics as a whole. I don't think he's just a purely Marvel guy. And if he is, then hey, all to him. That's great. But there's just so much going on with this, and I'm very, very interested. Now, one thing to speak on is the influence of Marvel and DC in My Hero. I believe that it's something that people don't take too much into account, even though that it's an extremely large thing that Koei, like, because you have these interviews that he's done, and he shows you how much paraphernalia and all this fandom stuff that he has, and it's just, oh wow, he might take a lot from it. Now, does this right here get people into comics with how much that they're showing in My Hero? And you're thinking like, oh wow, if there's all this types of stuff with My Hero characters and what our comic characters are. Personally, I don't think so. I would have loved to have that if that was the case, but I'm not sure. I think comics aren't being as popularized as manga as of recent, but it's like, of course, because manga has just come up with these hard-hitting ass characters and a lot of more humanity, and anime is extremely accessible. And plus, this is the now thing right now. And it's so difficult to get onto comics directly. Now, movies, it's so easy to, because everyone knows how well Avengers movies get into. DC movies kind of slacking. I think DC as of recent, just altogether, has been like doing kind of bad. Because, well, aside from the animated movies, obviously. But you have DC movies that people barely want to get into, which DC probably has an effect on Koei. And you also have the DC comics, which aren't as accessible as Marvel comics. Because if you didn't know, Marvel has this thing called Marvel Unlimited, where you're able to get about almost all the comics possible, or at least up until like the past 6 months. Like the past 6 months, you can't get any of the comics made then. But everything before that, you could totally get it. So there's like 20,000 comics plus. And that's extremely accessible for people that want to go from the movies over to the comics. But DC, that's not the case. Now, Koei, it's extremely like puzzling. I really want to know like his full-on thoughts about how he holds DC and Marvel in like high regard and all that. I would love for him to talk about it and all that. That'd be great. Now he actually went about this in his whole house tour and showing you everything that he had. But for him to go fully in depth about talking about that'd be great. But obviously he's a mangaka. He's going to talk about his series only, not going to put too much input on the other ones, because that's what made him to what he is today. So I just want to see anyone else. You guys could talk to me about how you guys view DC as recent and what they could do. Personally, all I believe that they could do is chill on movies, don't try to catch up with Marvel, and like work at your own pace, and at the same time make an app the way that Marvel did. I would love to read DC comics all the time like I do Marvel comics. Now, off of that, potential of the future collaborations with other franchises. Now, everybody thinks that with this is something that's been extreme, like it's blown out the water. Now, obviously, yes, this is extremely crazy because you have idols. You have Koei, which, and his idols being Western comics, and how astounding that is to be working with people, or well, things that you looked up to. I would have that's like me working with Araki or any or Quentin Tarantino, or you know, like there's just a bunch of like directors and writers and all this type of stuff that I would love to work with too. But that's like me with that, or other people with other things. Or specifically something that's existed, you have Oda from like the author or the mangaka of One Piece, and you have Toriyama. Now, Oda loves Toriyama. He loves the fuck out of Toriyama. And that had actually ended up in this collaborative manga, which you guys can look that up if you guys do hold interest in One Piece and Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball, like the franchise. I keep on calling it Dragon Ball Z by accident. But if you guys hold that in regard, then that's something that exists, because that's something that it's two people. Well, it's mentor and I don't know, I don't know the term for the smaller one, but obviously there's two people that one person extremely would love to, they would die for a collab, and they got it. Now, what does that say about like future anime or manga possible? I'm not exactly sure. As of recent, I can't think of manga that I'm interested that'd be able to get a collab with people that they would love to death or something like that. Because with Araki collabs with who the fuck he wants to, and he does it. And he's collab with Gucci. I'm pretty sure he can collab with any clothing brand possible, honestly. If he's able to get with Gucci like that, Araki could probably hang out with Versace too, like the company, obviously. But just going on that, I'm like, okay, that's possible, and we've gotten that type of stuff with I think the only other anime that I hold interest in at the moment be Hunter x Hunter, or manga, and I don't think that there's really anything that Hunter x Hunter would be involved with. I guess you could, or even Yu Yu Hakusho, which connects to both Togashi. But it would be most likely that, hey, I do a collab with my wife who created Sailor Moon, da 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 da, and you could see something like that. But I'm not exactly sure on what we could see in the future with other manga slash anime. I would love for you guys to comment your thoughts on like what would you think that who has potential of being collaborating with who. I'm not exactly sure on what now because the top anime possible. I'm not really sure on that because Oda, which is One Piece, is humongous right now. He already collab. Like, and after that, if you want to say Dragon Ball, I'm not really sure if Dragon Ball looks up to anybody anymore because they were pretty much the top like shonen. They're the most known shonen possible. There's not really anything else to be honest with you. If I was to say Pokemon, just cause Pokemon doesn't look up to anybody either. If there was someone else that looked up to Pokemon, that'd be something else too. But that I can't really think of anything off the bat. Now, if you guys can, that'd be great. Comment it. I already told you. But yeah, man, this has been doing fucking great. There's just so much to go about. You guys can go check out the character introductions and all. I'm pretty sure I will be leaving it in the comments for you guys to go check it out. Possibly leaving the tweet because it actually holds, or well, no, the website itself holds everything that you guys need to check it out on, possibly. And also, there's the art. I already told you guys that there was I mentioned it earlier. I'm like, this isn't just the art, but there's art done where it's the My Hero characters, and they're doing the exact positioning and all that stuff for the poster of Infinity War, basically. And the use of characters is pretty questionable. I love it to death though, because you have all these characters. It's just so odd on who they put where. But I think the one thing that finally got me was you have Shigaraki as Thanos, which is just it's just like, oh, okay. I'm pretty sure if the poster board was set to be more season 3ish, you know, who would you see and all that, for those that are caught up in the manga, you guys know who would you see, and there would probably be more room to add other people because they're missing a few characters right here already. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one though. I'm gonna be working on these character videos and all that because I got a bunch of stuff coming out soon, and on the second channel too. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out and Godspeed.